Hi guys, this is Mr. Campbell. I am going to explain the first assignment, which is a large assignment. I'm going to give you about 2 weeks to do it. It'll all be done outside of class. What I'm asking you to do is I'm going to have you read Fahrenheit 451 on your own over the next 2 weeks. You're not just going to read it. What you're going to do is you're going to actually annotate the text as you're going along reading it. It's called Reading with Your Pen. And so as you go throughout the reading, what you're going to do is you're going to underline, highlight, question mark, exclamation point, different things that stick out to you or different questions that you have. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. So most of you are probably watching this on the first day of school. This assignment will be due on Monday, September 7th. So you'll have 2 weeks to do this. It'll be done outside of class. And I'll explain more if you have questions, but this is how you do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to my website. You're going to click on Reading. Then you're going to go to the drop-down menu of Fahrenheit 451 Full Text. And so there's going to be 3 different versions of this. Excuse me. The first one is a Google Doc, and I would prefer that you do that one. That one is going to work the best. However, if you do not have access to Google Docs at home, you can download the full Word document and do the same thing with that. This other full text is for future things that we'll do in class, but I would prefer that you use the Google Doc or the full text Word document. And so let me show you what you're going to do. You're going to click on the Google Doc first. Now this Google Doc is just a file edit view. I don't have access to edit this. And so as you can see here, it's a view only. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to file and I am going to make a copy. And you'll notice that the email address I'm using is another personal email address I have. You're going to be copying one into your My Jordan District account. So you make a copy of the document and you click Fahrenheit 451 full text. So you'll have that. You'll click OK, and then you'll see this one version of the full text. I have a lot more options. I can view, insert, format, tools. I can do anything that I could do to a normal document, whereas now I'm going to click back to the other one, which is a view only. I can only view this document. So I'm going to get rid of that one. I don't need the view only anymore now that I have the full access one in my file. And most of you have probably already done this. This is an add-on that the school district gives us, Read and Write for Google. So once you get into your document, you're going to be doing a few things. So let's just let this sit here for a minute, and then I'm going to come over to this. So this is the annotation poster. You might have noticed this in the room today at school. This is available online as well. As you go through and read Fahrenheit 451 for the first time or the second time if you've read it before, what you're going to do is you're going to underline unfamiliar words or words that you don't know what they mean. So this is what it's going to look like on your paper. As you're going through reading, let's say you do not know what kerosene means. I would just underline that word. And then that would show me that you underlined it. Now, the cool thing is with Google Docs, we can actually track everything that we are doing, and it'll show up in a different color, and it'll show when we did it. And so I can kind of see what you're doing as you're going along as you're reading this. So to turn that on, you're going to come over here and this little pencil, and you're going to click on Suggesting. And every time that you make a suggestion from here on out or an edit to the document, it's going to change it green. So let's go back over to our annotation. Now, since you can't draw arrows because you're not doing it with handwriting, what I want you to do for your draw arrows is I want you to highlight something to show related details. So let's talk, let's do fire, gorging fire. We're just going to highlight that in blue. And you can see over here, it's got my little picture. And I just highlighted something over here. And fire, burned is connected, so we're going to highlight that. We're going to highlight blackened and changed. That has to do with fire. We're going to talk about marshmallows on a stick in a furnace. That has to do with fire. So what I'm basically doing is all these things are related, and it's the very opening paragraph of a book, and he's talking about how much of a pleasure it is to burn. So that would be something I would do through that. So that's just the draw arrows. Now, there's not a lot of steps, lists, or details throughout this book, so you're not going to need to do that part where it says number. We will do that later on when we get into informational text. Okay? So I'm going to keep reading, and I don't really know, well, I do know, but let's just say the word colored. We are going to highlight that one because I don't understand why it's written that way, why it's spelled that way. So I'm just going to highlight because I have a question. Now, the other 4 marks that you're going to put throughout your paper, and there should be by the time you're reading this, because it's 147 pages, over the next 14 days is approximately 10 pages a day. If you're just reading it, that should only be about 20 minutes. But since you're annotating it, it's going to take you about 45 minutes a night to read those 10 pages and annotate. And I don't want you to annotate stuff that you think I want you to annotate. I want you to put a question mark by where you have a question. I want you to put the star or the asterisk by things that you think are important. I want you to put the exclamation point. I don't agree with this. Or if something is funny, because there are funny parts in this book, or strange parts, or funny / strange, then you can put the LOL mark. This will be due on September 8th at the beginning of class. You will need to have this document completely read, completely annotated, and you will share this with me later, but not on the 8th, but it needs to be completed on the 8th. If you're going out of town, if you're going to go on vacation, or if there's something going up, you need to take this with you. One of the reasons that I did it on Google Docs is because you can do it on your phone, you can do it on an iPad, you can do it on a mobile device, you can do it in the schools, at the lab. Basically, you have access to this everywhere. If for whatever reason you don't have internet at home or you're not able to do it at home, you can download the Word document and do the exact same thing. Excuse me. So you can do the exact same thing that you were doing on the Google Doc. By the time you're finished, what you're going to have along the right-hand side is you're going to have hundreds of annotations as you go through this book. And if you have any questions, let me know. My email is spencer.campbell@jordandistrict.org.